Hello. Can you hear me? I hope that you can. Perhaps somebody could let me know in the chat that you can hear me. That would be great. Deafening silence at the moment. Right. Excellent. All right, confirmation. All right, well, thank you. This is very exciting. We are here for the 5th birthday live stream for the QTube. This is incredible. I can't believe that we've made it to 5 years, but here we are. So I'm Bryan Waters from the QTube, and we are a platform for film composers at the moment, but we're going to broaden that. But we provide resources to help composers develop skills, build a portfolio, build a network, and so on. At the core of which is our library of unscored films, which you can access. So yeah, we've opened this up to a join us on Zoom session. So I'm going to let everybody in that's here. And let's see who's joining us. Hello. Hello. You're all muted. Let me just hear some. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Sally. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I didn't recognise you. You've got your hair tied back. You don't usually.
I know. Sorry.
You confused me.
It was getting in the way.
Well, we can't have that.
I know. I'm working hard. Yeah.
You're working away. Good. Hi, Darren. Nice to see you. Nice guitars on the back wall there, catching my attention. Sasso, hello. In Macedonia. Hello, Macedonia. Can you hear me? Perhaps not. Are you all hearing me? Yeah? Can I get a thumbs up? Hi, Tom. Tom there. Anthony, where's your camera? Come on, Anthony. Sam Maver, hello. Hello, Sam. Hi, good to see you. Hi, Tom. Can't quite hear you yet, but your audio is coming through, I think. Sasso, hello. Can you hear me? Everybody's muted by default, so if you. Hello. Good to see you. Anthony. There he is. There's Anthony. Hello, sir. You're muted, so if you want to speak, obviously unmute yourself. It'd be nice to hear you.
Greetings, everyone. Hello.
Hello. Ada. Ada from Los Angeles and Robinton as well. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Disembodied voices is most unsettling. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. There is a bit of a structure. It's not just going to be me saying hello to everybody all evening, although that's quite pleasant. We're going to talk about new stuff, but it's also an opportunity, as we're 5 years old, to talk about old stuff as well. Now, this is a logistical challenge for me. I usually have Stefan helping with some of this streaming stuff. Now, there are a few things I want to share with you. So there's basically 4 kind of big announcements really this evening. So we'll maybe space them out in 15-minute sections or sessions, and then we can have a little chat about each of them as well, if you like. But I mean, some of you, maybe all of you, I don't know, have been with us for quite a long time now. I know Anthony's been with us more or less from day one. Jack, you've been with us for a while, yeah, I think, as well.
Certainly.
I'm not sure about the rest of you. Robinton is a relative newcomer to the QTube. Delighted to have you. Robinton, do you want to quickly introduce yourself to everyone?
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Robinton. I am a composer currently based in Los Angeles, but about to make the jump over to the UK. for some life reasons, and I run a company called Joy Music House, and we are a team of composers who work with a lot of other composers to
It is better.
produce live scores and recording, and um, we that's part of our mission is keeping all of that alive and as healthy as possible.
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, we had the pleasure of meeting with Robinton and Ada and everybody. Ada is also from Joy Music House. Ada, feel free to put your camera on. No pressure.
I don't have a camera at the moment, unfortunately, but I am here and smiling.
I can hear the smile. I can hear it, even if I can't see it. So Robinton and Ada work with Catherine and other people in Joy Music House, and we had the pleasure of meeting with them in Los Angeles fairly recently and doing a presentation together. And we're looking at potentially doing some stuff down the line together as well, which is quite exciting. So I don't know, Robinton, are there any more hints that we want to drop at this stage?
Anything you want to say is fine. You know, we're big fans of what Q2
Yes,
is
Robin,
doing.
we know.
And
No, stop.
Yeah, I mean, one of the main things that one of the things that you guys do, which is pretty cool, which is kind of relevant for our community, is these kind of workshops and stuff. And we're looking at potentially some way of overlapping so that we can help to support that. We can help QTube members get access to that and stuff like that. So it's kind of early days a little bit. I mean, we're exploring ideas, but yeah. I mean, Robinton? Do you want to give a very, very quick overview of those workshops and how it works and what you?
yeah, sure, if you'd like. What we do is we run a workshop. We currently do it in LA and in New York, and it is basically a masterclass focused on how to produce recordings with live musicians, particularly in an orchestral context. So we have a month of Zoom classes where we're going over the process, orchestration and copying, and that sort of thing. We assume that you going into this are a working composer, you know, with some fundamental understanding of all of this, but we go through all of those things building up to an in-studio weekend where in the mornings you watch our team produce and we talk about what we're doing and why as we go through recording some scores, and then in the afternoon each participant gets a half an hour in the hot seat, and we do that for 2 days, one with strings and one with brass and winds, and take everyone through the whole process. They get to work with our mix engineer and just really give people the confidence to go on and produce their own music, and because we really believe that, you know, live recording of scores is a very important part of film music, and if people don't know how to do it and if they're not confident in their abilities to do it, then they're not going to confidently ask for or find the money within a production to make that happen. So making that knowledge accessible to people is a big part of what we're doing.
All right, fantastic. Tom, can I ask you to mute your mic when you're not speaking? That would be great, because I think we're getting a little bit of weirdness on the audio. The perils of Zoom, I'm afraid, and live streams and the like. But equally, feel free to speak. I'm not asking you to stay muted. All right, thank you, Robinton. That's great. And I mean, everybody, you know, chip in if you have a question about that or about the QTube or anything. Anthony, I'm going to put you on the spot now. He's hopping around. It's terrible with Zoom. Everybody keeps moving.
Where to start?
Yeah, well, I mean, you were with us like on one of our very, very first live streams, weren't you? It might have
2020.
It might have been the
pandemic.
It might have been the first one that we did, actually, the first live stream.
Yeah, because it was us, Naveed, Matthew, and yourself, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And wait, you're someone else.
Yeah.
So this layperson chap.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
Roger.
incredible. Like
Roger,
that's it. Yeah.
Hi, Roger.
Honestly, like YouTube is like grown so much since its inception in 2020. I just like the way it's grown, obviously over time, but over 5 years, it has grown all arms and legs, which has been amazing. And now it's I use it for like all the resources for my teaching and master classes up north in Scotland. And when I, teach people film music production, I basically direct all my students to this wonderful resource. And honestly, it's been invaluable not just for myself, but for hundreds of other students and musicians, composer, creators alike. So honestly, I'm indebted to you, Bryan, for creating this, because until that point, I couldn't find any like royalty-free videos that I could score for myself. It would have to be like YouTube kind of converter sort of thing. But it was just a great way to develop one's portfolio. So really hats off to you. So yeah,
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah, cheers, Anthony, and thanks for all of your support and participation and everything along the way. So, like, since that first live stream, so at that stage, I think were you still finishing your masters? What stage were you at back then in 2020?
2020, I was halfway. In fact, I was just about to start third year of university.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was third year of a bachelor's.
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell us briefly what's happened in the last 5 years then, sort of where has the journey taken you in that time?
Well, in terms of my composing or
Everything, yeah. So you finish your bachelor's, what have you been up to?
So I'm just trying to like work on my career, work on my portfolio, my credits, working with directors, filmmakers globally, and just building up my portfolio really. I mean, since around 2019, I probably have about 35 credits,
Wow.
both
Great.
with short films, documentaries, and recently I finished my first ever feature film
Fantastic.
about
Wow.
2 months ago, which was a colossal task to say the least. But that's all through the Kyushu, through networking, through meeting people both in person and virtually, and it's been just kind of slowly soldering on really.
It sounds great. I mean,
Loving what I do and working with other people to make the world a better place through film and music.
that's a fair number of projects you've managed to get under your belt, really. It's great.
Yeah.
And presumably quite a spectrum of different types, different genres.
Different genres, yeah. Horror, documentary, psychological thriller, nature documentaries, and lots of other things around that as well.
Penguins. Lots of penguins.
And penguins. Lots of penguins, yes. It's a lovely sightseeing task. I've honestly, there's some that clip has just been circling around over and over because I did it as one of my master classes as well. So,
yeah. So you
fun.
do some teaching and you do some master classes and stuff up there in Scotland as well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
There's quite a few people I come across that do bits of teaching. I know Jack, you do some teaching, right?
Certainly, yep.
What sort of stuff are you doing teaching wise?
Bit of everything. I've got a couple of A-level people, couple of people just doing like composing for fun. Had people taking like music theory. I've got one new one who's coming to me because she's interested in doing like video games and stuff like that. So obviously I point a lot of people your way.
Excellent.
Clips, of course. I've got the T-shirt on.
Oh yeah, brilliant. I haven't. You're more qualified than me. There we go. No, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, it seems like a good sort of, not alternative, but sort of parallel career really with trying to develop as a composer. Yeah, to do some teaching. I know that quite a few people are doing that. There's also, of course, the library music way of generating another income. And anything else? Anyone? Sally, what are you up to? How are things with you?
Well, for those who don't know, I've been with QTube for it's about a year and a half, I think, isn't it, Bryan?
Yeah, must be.
I joined, and basically, I'd been taking a course in mixing and mastering so that I could get my production and sounds really top notch. But I was looking for film to write to, and there's so much stuff that you can't have the license for. So it was I needed a portfolio that I could include film on. So that was the QTube, it was like, wow, suddenly I've got this resource. Since then, since I got my portfolio together, I have acquired lots of jobs now. You know, I do adverts. I'm doing an animation film for a guy in LA. I've got a couple of projects coming towards the end of this year or maybe next year from Manchester, England. And there's a documentary drama that I'll be scoring. And yeah,
brilliant.
So the work's coming in because I managed to sort of, you know, have my portfolio out and people could see what I was doing.
So do you feel? I mean, I'm not looking for, you know, I'm not sort of fishing for.
You need the praise. You need the praise.
But I mean, genuinely, do you feel that it was a useful stepping stone to getting actual jobs?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, not just the portfolio, but also just the practice of writing to the film. You know.
Yeah.
So that suddenly. You know, these briefs that I do for adverts, I was getting much more used to working really fast because I'm in Slack for adverts. We're having to do music, say, in 24 hours, 48 hours, that sort of thing. But just being able to practice on other film helped me speed up my process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and long may it continue. I need to keep on practicing. I need to get better and better. You know.
I suppose it never ends, does it? That process.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
the QTube has come on so fast since I've joined.
Really?
You know, and that's only a year and a half ago.
Even.
You know, I really appreciate these feedback calls that you know that you're doing once a month now. Obviously, the competition is, you know, a nice little thing if you can win, but you know the feedback on that, you know, from the two guys at Leeds, it's like just you know wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, it's an interesting one from my perspective, from a sort of like presentation point of view, because I think that the chance to win the recording session is kind of exciting, but actually I think the real value is the feedback. I genuinely do.
Absolutely.
And not the other way around, you know. But it's an interesting presentation question, because if you say we're giving away an orchestra session, it sounds incredible, but only one person's going to get that, whereas everybody's going to get the feedback, you know, and it's going to help you much more, I think, in moving forward.
Absolutely.
And in fact, one little hint now about stuff that's coming, actually, right on cue. Thanks, Sally. You lined me up nicely there. Is that this is not one of the 4 things I was going to announce, actually, but I'll just hint at it, which is that we're looking at extending the feedback opportunities that we have, because one of the drivers for that is that as we've done this now for sort of 6 months or so on a monthly basis, we've recognized that somebody does some music, they send it to us, we give them some feedback, and then they're kind of, that's it, they're abandoned. And what some people are interested in doing is taking that feedback, responding to it, and then resubmitting for further feedback to see whether they were understanding the feedback correctly and whether they executed the changes correctly and all that type of thing. So we're looking at extending the feedback on a sort of optional / paid basis, because I can't keep paying for all of this stuff. But I think that there are some people who will recognize the value of it and see it as something that they want to pay for. And I think that one of the ways that we can make it more affordable is that we'll probably have the option of either 1-to-1, which would obviously be the most expensive way of doing it, or we could actually do sort of small group sessions where, say, there are 4 of you, and each of you kind of plays back your revised score to Bryan and Stefan, and then there's a discussion takes place around that. So those are some of the ideas that we're throwing around, because I think giving one piece of feedback is great, and the quality of the feedback is obviously fantastic, but we don't want to leave people high and dry, so I think there's a little bit more that we can do with that. So yeah. Okay, well, you can probably see something going on behind me. This is a visual preview of something that I'm going to share with you now, which is the new film in our library. So without further ado, let me attempt with my technical incompetence to share that with everybody, with sound, hopefully. And then we can have a little chat about it. Okay, I hope you were able to see and hear that. Could you see and hear that? Yeah?
Yeah, all good.
Excellent. So this is the new clip in our library. So we've tried to do, as we all often do, try to do something very different. And I was really inspired by revisiting, after the composer passed away, revisiting the work of Lalo Schifrin and some of the work on those classic cop movies like Bullet, Dirty Harry, and others. And indeed, other composers and other films of a similar genre. And I thought, wouldn't it be fantastic to do something really retro and give people a chance to get to grips with something very, very different, a little bit different from the orchestral, or perhaps the sort of minimal electronic type scores. And another reason behind the choice was that I'm conscious, I'm looking for Matt Whitby, where is he? Is he here? Or has he left? I'm very conscious that sometimes our clips are a bit crammed with voices, and working with the narration or with the voiceover or with the actors can be tricky for the composers in the short length of our clips. So I thought, let's go the other way and let's do a clip that's got no dialogue, no narration, and give people a chance to just play with some visuals and play with a kind of stylistic prompt, if you like, and see what you can come up with. So that's the challenge for this month. It's live now. Submission is free. We're doing it a little bit differently, and this is the part that's possibly a little bit controversial, but you got to mix things up. So this time we're doing it like Vesper, which means that there is a fee to actually access the clip, which is £5 for members, £15 for non-members. The submission process is completely free and the feedback is free and so on. But what we're going to do is we're going to essentially let you, the members of the community, decide what the prize is going to be, by which I mean that we will scale the prize depending on the amount of engagement that we get with this particular challenge. So we would love to do a full orchestra session, so if there are enough people that actually participate, then we should be able to do that. If there aren't enough people that do it, then we'll scale it down to something more like a string quartet or something like that. So we thought we'd approach it a little bit differently and put the onus onto you guys, and try and get people involved, try and get, spread the word out there in the composer community, and let's try and make this successful, because it would be fantastic to get another composer working with an orchestra. That would be really a wonderful thing to do. Any comments or thoughts about the clip or the challenge? Anybody ever tried doing any music in that kind of style? Are you familiar with the work of Lalo Schifrin? Anybody? Fans? Or am I the only one? David, you're a fan of this? You can unmute. Mm-hmm.
Yes, actually, as you were talking about it, I have a book on orchestrational techniques of Lalo Schifrin.
Excellent.
And I was eyeing it, so I'm going to consult that when I submit my piece. So,
wow. Fantastic.
And being, an elder statesman, certainly I grew up with the original Mission Impossible and some of his music, even some of his solo stuff. So yeah, I think Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, the original was his.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to resource, and then get my feedback, and then go back to the drawing board and redo it with the suggestions. So yes, yeah. I am familiar. The short answer is
wonderful. Well, no, long answers are good. Well, thank you. Yeah. No, I mean, it really is a fantastic rabbit hole to go down, to just explore some of those scores, and even the films. I mean, the films are absolutely classic. Steve McQueen and Clint Eastwood. I mean, what's not to like about that kind of stuff? Anyone else got any thoughts? What do you think about? Oh, there we go. There's the book. Fantastic. Wow. Great.
So are you saying that we have to stick to that style?
Not at all. No. I mean, no. I mean, we would love to hear people do that. But I mean, if you want to do something different, as always, feel free. But I'm really hoping that some people do embrace the opportunity to do something in this style, because you don't hear it too often these days, do you, in cinema, I suppose, that kind of stuff. And I think it's a shame. I think it's powerful. I think it's really evocative and works well, especially with these kind of visuals. So, but yeah, have you got, sorry, Darren, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to say, and doing something without voiceover. The last one, I chose voices to do for the select one because it didn't have a voiceover, so it's kind of a sorry, not sorry. I think that the challenge is going to be in hearing all the feedback from the other Bryan and Stefan is that this don't overwrite. So when you got a lot of dialogue, you're writing underneath and you're trying to be underneath. When you don't have a lot of dialogue or any dialogue, you've just got some sound design in there. I think it's the same thing. It's avoiding overwriting and getting too sort of bombastic with it. Yeah. I think it's just that delicate balance of all of those things. And I'm still very new to all of this, more of a hobbyist composer. I retired from the corporate world at the end of last year and just using this to fill in some time because it's something that I enjoy doing and figuring out all the tricks and tips to make it happen. And so yeah, it's just, I think it's that delicate balance that we keep hearing of. How do you not overwrite? How do you put in the right mood in the right spot? When you don't have voices, then I tend to lead you to, I'm just going to fill it all with music. Whereas silence and letting the sound design or the scene dictate what it should have. I think those are the challenges. And for me, it's having something different to write to, because if I don't, I tend to write kind of the same thing a little bit over and over again. So to sort of think in a different way and challenge me creatively to say I have to do something completely different than what I did last time. Yeah. Because the style is different. I think that's one of the benefits of the variety of different clips that are available. So it should be fun. Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to enrich the library all the time. So again, if anybody has an idea of a genre or a style that they would like to see, which isn't represented in the library, or you'd like to see more of in the library, then feel free, don't be shy. But yeah, thank you for that. I mean, I think another interesting aspect actually of this particular challenge is that quite often when we've been doing these challenges over the last 6 months or so, and Stefan and Bryan have been giving feedback, one of the other recurrent themes in terms of the feedback is when people start using percussion and they sort of start getting into trouble because it can be really hard to make percussion work with voices in particular. And so I thought, well, here's a chance to just get your drum kit out and just go for it. So it's another thing I wanted to sort of, anybody who was really interested in perhaps even live drums, but programming drums, and really the percussion is such an important element of this type of music as well. So it was a little bit of a change of emphasis from that point of view as well, which I hope people will enjoy. And it's going to be a tremendous challenge, I think, to make the drums, if you are programming the drums, to make them sound convincing. I mean, I really hope, I'm throwing down the gauntlet here, trying to make it sound like a jazz drum kit. So yeah, good luck. Is there anyone here who actually plays the drums? Oh yeah, go on.
Just hire a drummer and do it live. Just mic it up and do it live. Just
Absolutely.
if you have space.
No,
if you have the ability.
I'm all for that. Getting real musicians involved for sure. Is there anyone here who is actually a drummer? Anybody in the chat? No. All right, well, good. I look forward to hearing your bits and bobs. So we're already at 7:30. I wanted this to be about an hour long, and I feel like I'm already racing to catch up with all the things that I wanted to share. But it's great to see everyone here. Thank you so much for joining us and for the support that you give us as the QTube and the support that everybody's given us over the last 5 years. It's been quite the journey since I started it in my spare bedroom in Ukraine. And here we are with that first competition, Caminandes. Who remembers that one with the llama, and Andy Parton with his fantastic score, winning that. I mean, that score still stands like as a reference. I think it was a really, really good one, and it was kind of fun running that first competition. Okay, we have another few announcements of stuff that's coming up with the QTube. So I'm gonna share another one with you. Just bear with me a sec while I cue this up like a DJ. Right. this is a really exciting one. This is kind of going back to our roots a little bit. There we are. Another talking point for anybody who feels like talking. So you might remember that when we started, back in the days when I was generous, we were doing everything for free. And then I became really mean-spirited and started charging. But you know, it wasn't something I wanted to do, but you know, you got to be realistic. I've got to eat. And so we introduced membership fees, and it's been fine, it's been good, but I've always wanted to kind of make something available which everybody could access, you know, who was looking to start out, whether they were perhaps a student, impoverished student, or they were interested in maybe trying it, they weren't sure whether they were interested in film composing, but they wanted to at least have a play around with it. So we've got these 5 60-second extracts from some of the films in our library that you can access for free, and you know, the license is the same, so you can use it on social media, you can use it in your portfolio, and just give yourself a little taste. And 5 different genres. I've deliberately chosen 5 different genres so that people can see you know, what might float their boat, so to speak. So what do you reckon? Now everybody's going to stop paying and just use the
I think it's
stuff.
great. I think it's great because if you have 60-second videos, especially in vertical format, I think it's more digestible for social media like TikTok, Instagram, all the social media platforms. And it's, you know, rather than putting like a 3-minute video like we used to, if you have that, it's more, you get more engagement on social media. So I think, but to whet people's appetite to see what's to come, to have it free, I think is a great resource. And then if they want to get the whole thing, then it's a great entry point for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're, as well as us being altruistic and trying to help people to develop creatively, we're also, of course, hoping that this will you know, bring more people in who are sort of looking at film composing, giving them a taste of what it is that we do, and then hopefully for those that really get a taste for what we do, then they'll come and join the community and benefit from all of the feedback and the competitions that we run, and the variety of many more films and longer films and all the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, I think that the vertical version of things that we're doing, and especially in this short form, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what people do with that. Yeah, with things like TikTok and so on, which I never use, but I've heard of it. Any other comments? So
I made a TikTok the other week. I swore I would never do it, but I've gone to the dark side. So. But yeah, on the 30-second reel thing is a great idea, because even if you post a long video, people rarely watch past about 5 seconds of it.
Great.
So, and sometimes it only takes like 2 seconds to grab someone's attention with some music. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, for what it's worth, if there are bits of the videos that kind of lend themselves to like pretty tunes and stuff like that, getting those to people would be great, because then you could put something on social media that just grabs people like that. That always works.
Yeah, cool. So again, spread the word, and let's grow this community. It'd be fantastic. And speaking of which, we have there's another thing to announce. I'm cramming them in now. So we're actually giving people the opportunity to earn money from the QTube, which I think is hopefully attractive. I think money is quite attractive personally, but so. So there we are. Isn't this exciting, eh? So we are basically launching. It'll take us about a fortnight to finish the coding and finish the testing. So in about 2 weeks' time, we'll be launching this referral program, so that you can actually pass a link to your friends and family, and if they sign up, then you get a nice little monetary thank you from the QTube. And not only is it a one-off, you will get that monetary thank you every time that they basically renew their membership. So it could be for the rest of your life, in principle. And you could get to the point where you're actually not only covering the cost of your own subscription, you could actually be making a profit out of it. So, it's worth thinking about. And we're hoping really, of course, that this is going to be a way of growing the membership, from our point of view. And I think that growing the membership is obviously to the benefit of everyone, I think that the community benefits from strength in numbers. Anybody? Any reactions?
What is the membership
Sally.
at the moment? What is the membership at the moment?
Can anyone hear Sally?
Yeah, I can.
You can hear her.
What is the membership?
Are you hearing Sally?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not hearing her. What's going on?
She's asking how much is membership.
Can someone else speak?
No, not how much is membership. I'm saying how many people are actually in the QTube now.
I can't hear her.
I wondered how many members there were.
Can you
How
speak
many
so I
that
can
there
check
are
you?
of
I
it.
think it's a good few thousand, isn't it? Probably
Yeah.
more.
Oh, integrate. Hang on.
How weird that he can't hear
Oh, I
me.
can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Brilliant.
Honestly, this software is just so ropey. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to ask you to repeat everything then.
I was just asking how many members we've got so far.
The total current active members. That would be telling.
All right.
What's your guess? What would you guess actually? What would be your guess? Anybody?
I don't know.
8,000.
8,000? Wouldn't that be nice if I had 8,000 members paying a tenner a month? Bloody hell.
12
I was
million?
going to say about 1,000, but
1,000? What was that,
Oh,
Darren?
in the paid membership tier, or just like that have an account?
Well, Sally, what were you referring to? Like paying members? Or
Paying members.
paying members. Did you say something, Darren?
Because honestly, I think you're very cheap.
So currently, paying members, we have approximately
for the resources that we get.
about 1,000, yeah. But what I should say is that a proportion of those. So if you remember, when we launched the paid version, if you like, of the QTube, which was quite a while ago, we had 3 tiers of membership. We had £1 a month, £5 a month, and £10 a month. And so out of those, but then we stopped new sign-ups for the £1 and £5 tiers, but we allowed people that were already on it to continue. And that's still the case as we speak today. So out of the 1,000, we've got approximately half of them are on those legacy tiers, as I call them, and half of them are on the sort of current creator tier, if you like. So it gives you some idea of where we're at, giving away all the secrets here. Sally, I don't know.
Sorry. No, but I just think, as a resource, I mean, for people to pay £10 a month, it's nothing for what we actually get out of it. That we get films that we can use, we get feedback, all that learning experience. I think it's cheap.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Sally, because we've got another announcement, which won't be quite so popular as the other announcements, I dare say, which I might as well share now because you've let me into it. Sally, it's as though I've prepared you to prompt me into these announcements. I think it's the second time you've done it. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to share another slightly, probably less popular video. 1 second. Oops, sorry. Yeah, here we are. Right. Okay, so there's quite a lot actually of subtlety there to digest. So essentially, first of all, in just under a month's time, so September the 1st, we're going to discontinue the starter and premium tiers completely. But for that period until then, those members who are on those legacy memberships will have a 50% discount for upgrading. So obviously, if you upgrade to the annual creator membership, then you'll get it for like 50 quid. So that's a pretty good deal. That's less than £5 a month. So sorry, my brain is fried today. So we're also upgrading the price. Well, we're increasing the price of the creator membership because, as you said, Sally, we're sort of. First of all, we haven't changed the pricing in like best part of 3 years, and secondly, what we're doing now compared to what we were doing then is chalk and cheese really, and also you've just got inflation and all the rest of it. But the good side of it, first of all, is that that's not going to kick in until September the 1st. So it means that if you were to buy annual membership before then, you will get it at the current price. So you'll actually save yourself a good few quid by doing that. And the other thing is that, of course, with the referral system, it actually means that, yes, you'll be paying more to be a member, but also your amount of money back for referrals will be higher because it'll be on a percentage basis, which we haven't finalised yet, by the way. I'm surprised nobody's asked me, but it's probably going to be something like 10%, you know. So if somebody signs up for an annual membership at £120, we'll probably give a kickback, or whatever you want to call it, of about 12 quid, which is decent, isn't it? Decent. So, yeah, you know, swings and roundabouts. I feel like Santa Claus, Robin Hood, and, you know, Dick Turpin all rolled into one. I think my audio is playing up. I'm not sure if anybody's speaking. So any thoughts about those changes? Is anybody horrified by the fact? Can somebody speak? So
I think it's all good.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with Sally that it's cheap, because a lot of people are beginning to realise how expensive studying at like a university or conservatoire actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to go and do a 9-month-long master's in film scoring at USC, it's going to cost you like 60 grand. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you might not be paying all of it straight away, but you will be eventually.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, you get a lot of stuff that you would get in that here for pennies by comparison.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably, on that note, it's probably worth just highlighting that the feedback that comes from Bryan and Stefan is, you know, is degree standard, basically. You know, they teach the degree course at Leeds, so I mean, it's exactly the same as you would get on that program. Any other comments? Oh, someone's raised a hand. David, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with everybody thus far. The rates are more than reasonable. The feedback is great. Just when you think you've written something brilliant, then you get the feedback and you go back and look at your piece and you realize that, and yes, to do something as an undergraduate or degree is very expensive. This is a good place to start. I do have some of that background, but I'm always learning. And I think it's great. And I think that the prices and the fees are more than reasonable. When would you know where your one-on-one fees and when they're going to be? Is that being developed now? Or?
Yeah, we're actively discussing it at the moment with Bryan and Stefan, and you know, again, I hope that we can make an announcement on that and start making it available during the course of this month. So there's no reason at the moment, with it being August, people are on holidays and things, but I'm hoping that we'll still be able to get the time. So Stefan, lucky individual, is away in Amsterdam at the moment. So I was trying to encourage him to come on stoned, you know, onto the live stream, but he wasn't having it. So we should get opportunity to put everything in place this month and actually start to make it available. Yeah, that's the plan. Any other comments? One of the things that I'm really interested in, we can wrap it up fairly soon, but one of the things that I'm always interested in, and I'm just going to put it on here in the hopes that somebody is going to hear this and actually respond, which they never do, is in really talking to people who've directly as possible really benefited from what we do. So in other words, I know that there are people out there who've used resources that we provide to submit, you know, to what's the word I'm looking for? You know, when you would kind of apply for a gig as a composer. Pitch, I suppose. They're pitching for a job and they're using one of our clips to showcase what they can do. And they've been successful, you know, and it's led to some progression in their career, progression in their income, and all of that sort of good stuff. And I'm really interested in speaking to people like this because unfortunately, once people have got the momentum, they just disappear into the sunset and you never see them again. But it would be really nice if somebody was able to look back down the road and say, Bryan, by the way. So yeah, not just for my ego, although that would be nice, but just as illustrations really of sort of the value and potential benefit of these resources, because they're not just for killing time. They are genuinely intended to be kind of stepping stones, and indeed the community as well, and the events that we run, the networking events and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if anybody out there after our 5 years of hard graft has got any stories like that, it would be really brilliant to hear those. So reach out to me one way or t'other. Right. Well, I feel like I'm running out of gas, so to speak. I think I've covered everything. I hope you're all going to grab Bullion and have some fun with it over the next few weeks. I think it's pretty much 4 weeks before the closing of that competition, so plenty of time. Plenty. And don't save it for the last 48 hours, please. What is it with composers? Whenever we run these competitions, we leave them open for a month, and you always get 90% of the submissions in the last 12 hours. Why is this?
Composers love to work under pressure, I think.
Absolutely.
Mixing. Mixing.
But also,
I think a lot of you get the writing done, but then it doesn't sound good. So there's days and days and hours in mixing for amateurs like myself and maybe others who are not mix and master engineers. It's hard, and if you don't have an ear to understand what's going on and understand the frequencies and the layering, it's really hard. The production side is you got to be a composer, an orchestrator, and a mix and master engineer. It's hard to be all four.
Yeah, it really is.
And one thing or another suffers as a result. And I think that last few hours is just trying to get everything leveled and balanced. And I think that's why you get those last minute submissions. I finished writing a week ago, but I spent 7-8 days.
Sure.
I know that's what I do. So sorry, Sally. I may have.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree with you. Yes, getting it just right. But I think from a composer's point of view, and whether we're mixing and mastering and that sort of thing, even from the writing, the production point of view, you're always asking yourself, can this be better? Can I just tweak that little bit? It'll be a little bit better. So I think in lots of ways you rabbit hole, and you shouldn't, but you go down that alleyway, don't you, and say, well, I just want to leave it another day. I want to leave it another day. Unless you've got something else. There was one of the competition pieces, I think it was the first one of the year, when the lad who won said he'd had to do it in 2 days because he'd got to go off and do something else,
That's right.
And that's the ideal.
Yeah.
That's the ideal thing, it's just get it out there and do it.
I think
but it's so difficult, isn't it, when you're sitting there?
Yeah.
And we get so sort of fond of these pieces, it's like giving a part of ourselves away somehow.
Sure.
You just want it to be perfect, or as perfect as you can, so you leave it and leave it. And
but I suppose you run the risk perhaps of overthinking and kind of revising and making it worse as well.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting. But I remember with that. There's Dave who won the Vespa competition. I think he crammed it because of a holiday. And also I think Joseph, who won the score relief competition with Wing It, I think he also was up against some kind of personal deadlines and had to do it very, very quickly as well. So, it can go in your favor. David, I think you wanted to say something.
I spend at least as much time mixing, mastering, because it's a weak area for me, as I do composing. I couldn't put something out in 2 days. I do take a couple hours a day usually, but I take about 3 days between each assignment, or so I have. And the first 3 days, I just watch the video, and I was told that that's a good practice. I can't just sit and throw it up on my workstation. Then go away and then have my wife look at it and then talk about it. So that allows me to go in and work more quickly once I get a sense of the piece. The last piece, for instance, I looked at the emotions of the character, and so that helps. So yes, I need the time, and I do try to take it, and I'm still working full time, so that
Okay. Cool. Well, really, really good insights, everyone. Thank you. I hope that it's been lovely seeing you. I hope that the feeling's mutual. But I don't blame you if it's not. Yeah, take care and see you in 5 years' time.
And a happy birthday.
Thank you. I mean, it's not a specific date, actually. It's just around the summer, you know? Around the summer, yeah, because I think that we kind of announced it as an idea, and then we launched it with a competition. And then when the competition had finished, we actually, the library became available. So it depends how you want to count the anniversary, really. But yeah, it's around this time, certainly. I remember sweating away in the summer in Ukraine in my apartment, putting this thing together. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone. Thank you for coming in from all around the world. We have Macedonia, we have Los Angeles, we have Derbyshire. We have all sorts, yes. And Scotland, I mean, Scotland being buffeted by the storms, I believe. Yeah, is that right, Anthony? A rough day?
Yeah, it's you've kind of been blown away. It's got roofs kind of falling and stuff.
Right.
Flights being cancelled, trains being cancelled. So,
right.
Yeah, I missed the festival at the moment. We've got a festival for next kind of few weeks, Edinburgh Festival. They had to cancel this too as well, everything.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, it's all crazy. Yeah, we get lots of storms, so get battered.
So that's what you've got to look forward to, Robinson, when you come to the UK, you know?
Super excited. Trading fire for storm,
You didn't
I
read the
guess.
small print. Didn't read the small print, Robinson.
Well, stay safe, man.
Cheers.
All right, thanks everyone. I'm gonna close it there. Thank you. Take care.
Cheers, Brian.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Brian.
Great
Cheers.
evening.
Thank you.
Brian.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Tom.